Some days I wake up and I wonder to myself, what is good? What is bad? What has been hard? What has been easy? And if you're waking up like that some days, asking yourself those same questions, asking yourself, what is good? What is bad? What is easy? What is hard? Then ask yourself this question. Have you reached out for help? Have you seek to find someone who can assist you? If the answer to that is no, and you are thinking of harming yourself or doing anything that will have caused you to take your own life, please don't. Whether you know it or not, this world is better with you in it than it is without you. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please reach out to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. Again, that's 1-800-273-8255. And if for some reason, any reason, you just can't sing or you feel afraid to reach out to that number, then please feel free to reach out to me, okay? You can reach out to me on any of my social media feeds and just simply put on there, I need to talk. And I am more than willing to have that conversation with you and go through the battle with you. Now let's talk. What's going on, Pride Nation? Welcome back to another Field Review podcast show. I'm late to the party, man. I really am. Work has always got me down. And if you know anything about me, I try to do things on a timely fashion. So this is a later show than usual. But it's a show that I'm prepared to do and a show that I'm prepared to knock down, if that makes sense. People, we got to talk about some football. And the reason why we have to talk about this football is because there's some things going on. And I really want to see, are you mad? Are you one of those people who are mad? And if you are, great. If you're not, great. But we're going to talk about it. So most notably, what we got to do is we got to go over a few things. Let me get it queued up for a minute. Just give me a brief second. All right, I got everything queued up. I'm ready to rock and roll. We're going to be looking at some, what's the word I want to use? Out of market YouTubers respond to the Detroit Lions. We're also going to be looking at some Detroit Lions news and taking your questions as well. And then on top of that, I got a few things coming up with down this week. I got a video I'm going to drop that I did with a YouTuber who, it was a lot of fun. I had to edit it, but with it being the holidays, it was a little bit challenging. So we'll knock that out too. But let's see who's in the building with us today. We got Hatter House, Craig Bivens is in the building, Southwest Lions, Jimbo G, James Harrington, Omar. We got Cap Ice Cold. I'm gonna try to pronounce it. It's Pacheco. I think I said that. Pacheco. I hope I said that right. Cap Ice Cold, El Tonio Jenkins, Delusional Lions fans, Avery Giovanni, Spirit of Detroit Podcast. Shout out to you, sir. Jimbo G, Lions Looney Tune. Let me see. We got Mr. Marcus, Bulgarius. I'm trying to forget nobody. We got Predator Kingdom, Jason Smith, and JGB. First thing first, people, I'm gonna let y'all know right now. I'm not ranting. I'm not. I just, today is just one of them days where I'm just like, oh, okay. I've come to a conclusion. It's about to be one of them things. It's about to be one of the things. This video comes from someone who I plan on collaborating with, so we can get more elaboration on this. This video comes from a YouTuber by the name of Into Sports. Now it's a small channel. However, I want to see what your reaction is to his reaction. This video is titled, Why the Detroit Lions Will Be a Dumpster Fire for the Next 5 Years. I'm going to repeat that title again. Why the Detroit Lions will be a dumpster fire for the next 5 years. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Coach Dan Campbell, new general manager Brad is going to take advantage. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Into Sports. I'm your host, Evan. Today, I'm talking Detroit Lions. But before I do, please click that subscribe button. Been gaining quite a few subscribers recently. I really appreciate that. Anyways, the Detroit Lions made moves this offseason. They really reshuffled the deck. New head coach, Dan Campbell. New general manager, Brad Holmes. New quarterback, Jared Goff. So should Lions fans be optimistic for the future? No, of course not. The Lions will be stuck in the dumps for at least the next 5 years.
All right, we're gonna stop it there, okay? we gonna ease on into this, okay? Let's just go ahead and just, have fun with it. Now, if anybody know anything about me, my pictures usually indicate my mood and what we're going to talk about. And we certainly got to talk about that man on the screen. But let's be honest here. Did you see how it started off? I want to know what your initial emotion was when he said that Detroit Lions are going to be a dumpster fire for the next 5 years. And, just looking at it from a standpoint of saying to yourself, how do you feel? So what is your initial reaction to hearing that? Because he has a lot to say as it pertains to him. Now, my biggest issue was the idea of the next 5 years. Okay. My other issue was his response to it, because his response to it to me felt real familiar. It's what most Lion fans do and how their reaction is to this team. To just be very pessimistic. Yeah, they got a new head coach. Yeah, they got new front office. Yeah, they got new this, new that, new this, new that, but they still garbage. And so my question to you guys are, do you feel that same level of conviction in terms of saying, hey, let me just do like this. Now, I don't want you guys to go and dump on the channel. I'm starting to see things for what it is. People who do not follow this team are just unaware, and they follow a lot of the mainstream media's responses, and then they add their own 2 cents on it based on what happened the previous year in their fantasy leagues. But that's just another story. Now, excuse me. Let's let him talk a little bit more. I want to make sure we stay in context with this. Let's go.
There is zero hope for Detroit because the NFL is a coach-quarterback league. Who has dominated the NFL over the last decade? Tom Brady, Bill Belichick. Drew Brees, Sean Payton. Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll.
Now, stay with me. This idea that the NFL is first of all, the NFL is supposed to be a passing league. I disagree with that. It's a coach quarterback league. I'm totally disagreeing with that. And the names that he is given and who's dominated the league, like that's what we're doing. We really doing that? Like, but again, it's all based on success. It's all based on how you clarify success. Excuse me. Now, his response to it is that he, there's 0% chance for hope, right? And I'm like, oh, okay. And now the question becomes, again, how are you feeling? We only a few minutes into this video. How are you feeling at this point? Okay. How are you feeling? Because at this point, we really trying to understand what it is. It's not just him. It's not just him. He's a guy that I went to the video. I asked, can we collaborate? We tried to figure this out. I still plan to have him on to talk about this. But when he talks, are you getting upset? Are you happy? Do you agree? Do you disagree? This is what I want y'all to focus on. But when you're listening, ask yourself those questions. Let's get it.
Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid. The Lions have Jared Goff and Dan Campbell. Now, that might be good in college football, but this is the National Football League. Those two ain't cutting it. Now, with Campbell, the jury is out. He hasn't coached a game since 2015 when he was the Dolphins' interim coach. And then since then, he's been the Saints' assistant coach and tight end coach. So we really don't know how good he is. Now, I'm a little skeptical. Now, we do know he's quirky, he's a change of pace kind of guy, and he's a tough guy. As he said, he wants to bite your kneecap off. So coach? Maybe, but I'm skeptical. But quarterback, the jury is in, and it's in a bad way. Jared Goff is a borderline starter. He's teetering on backup territory. If he is a starter, he's one of the 2 or 3 worst in the league.
All right, listen. Listen, it's a lot to cover. How were you feeling? What is your emotion? Apparently, he's a little iffy on the head coach. Just a little bit. He's 100% in on the fact that Jared Goff is trash. Just like this, he's in his eyes, Jared Goff is barely a starter. And he has this view. My question is how are you feeling? Is your blood pressure changing? Is your attitude changing? Are you agitated, irritated? What is your emotion? Okay, because I really want to know how you're feeling. As I heard this, and I've been sitting on this for a while because I've been trying to give him a chance to come on, and we just can't figure it out. So I said, forget it. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it because I think there's some themes here that I want to explore. That's the word I'm gonna use, explore. Now, he's going into this whole idea of what this team is, and you as the fan have to listen to it. Now, it's just one of them things. It's one of them things where you just say to yourself, oh, this is where we at, huh? All right, this is where we at. And it's not just him. There are multiple people, but his has the title. His has the kahunas to say it. And I'm like, okay, let's hear it. Jimbo G says, I really don't care, Luke, because when the Lions start winning and have a good record, it would be a lot of a-kissing and licking. I believe it. But this is the thing. Do you view or share this view? Take yourself out of it and just and be the football fan. Forget the being a Lions fan. Just be the football fan. We're going to let him keep talking because he said a lot of things in this, and I really want to hear this. So Emmanuel Sanders, he says, I feel like the circus has lost one of his clowns. Again, I'm not going that deep. I want to know what y'all emotions is as he breaks this down. The one thing I respect about him is he was willing to support his answers and how he feel. I can never knock a person who's willing to support their answers and they're not just stuck on the same thing. They support it. So I respect that part, but let's let him keep talking.
Goff is not a guy who's going to make plays off script when receivers aren't open. And he's not even a guy that's going to take advantage of everything that is open, like a Ryan Tannehill or a Matt Ryan. You give them an inch and they thread the needle.
Now, I told you I can't rant. I'm just going to have fun with this. First things first, he compared Jared Goff to Ryan Tannehill and Matt Ryan. And I'm not being funny, but Jared Goff has at least one, two, I think I counted like 3 of the greatest games in NFL history. And that's not me trying to defend him. That's just me saying you can't say a person is not going to do this and thread the needle. And then he brings up Tannehill, and I'm thinking they run the ball first. He's not even asked to win the games. He's asked not to lose them. Similar to what we're going to ask Jared Goff to do. Don't lose me the game. Just manage the game. But this is his way of supporting it. I am not going to kill him. I just want y'all to tell me how you feeling about listening to it.
Jared Goff will actually miss on easy throws. And on top of that, he will make some really goofy decisions, head-scratching decisions. I do not trust him to take care of the football. And on top of that, let me give you the cherry on top of the whipped cream, on top of the ice cream. Jared Goff doesn't have much high-end talent. I see Jalen Hurts and Jared Goff right here, neck and neck, same tier. But at least Hurts has high-end talent. At least Hurts will make some eye-popping plays. There's a lot of upside with a guy like Jalen Hurts. So at least Eagles fans have hope. There is no upside with Jared Goff. There is no hope for Lions fans at the quarterback position. His ceiling is like the 20th best quarterback in football. Whoa. But he got to a Super Bowl with the Rams. Jared Goff had nothing to do with the Rams going to a Super Bowl.
All right. I'm looking at this chat. Y'all are already in rare form. I see it. I ain't missed the thing yet. Trust me, I see it. Izzy77 says, damn, Luke, I had a good day today, and you exposed me to this. I wanted to know what your emotions is. This is what one of many people are posting on YouTube and have no problem displaying that. And I want you to be able to see what they're posting. That's all it is. I want you to hear it, and I want to know what is your emotion to this. I'm just putting it out there. So, and I'm picking up what you're putting down, Southwest Lions. So I'm putting it out there. I want you to hear how this is being viewed from an outside source. Now, granted, it's a small channel, but I think over time it will grow. Like I said, he supports his reasoning. And I think anytime a person supports their reasoning, you have to respect it. You ain't got to like it, but you have to respect it. And so he's 100% supporting his stuff. He's going to keep giving you his reasons why. But we're going to listen to it because I had to do this. I've listened to this thing over and over and tried to see, like, am I being punked, or maybe I'm missing something, or maybe this is a satire, right? That's what I'm thinking. This has got to be a joke. It's not meant to be taken serious. But no, he's dead serious about it. Now, he did go back and correct himself in the chat by saying that, okay, he misspoken when he said he had nothing to do with them going to the Super Bowl. So he did do that. He was open to that thing, but let's get back into it. D-Map Zoom says, what's going on, Luke? We're talking about a YouTuber who did a video that is titled, Why the Detroit Lions Will Be a Dumpster Fire for the Next 5 Years. That's what's going on, and we're listening to his views on this. I'm not telling y'all to go over there and light his channel up, but I'm telling you, if you want to light it up, challenge him to explain what this stuff means. Okay? And that's the reality of it. But let's keep going.
Actually, I'll give him this. He was competent. But Jared Goff was simply a system quarterback operating an incredible system.
What is wrong with that? Joe Montana's a system quarterback. John Elway was a system quarterback. Peyton Manning was a system quarterback. Tom Brady was a system quarterback. What is wrong with being a system quarterback? Like, what happened to football where all of a sudden we became such snobs that we can't have system-related players? In fact, if you go through and look at most of the people in the league, they are system quarterbacks or system players. Don't believe me? Look at Kyle Van Noy. You can just see it across the board. Like, there are just guys who work better in certain systems, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's no reason why we should be downplaying or misrepresenting or being disrespectful to people who work well in their system. Dak Prescott is a system quarterback, and he's had success in it. So I don't understand this idea of a system quarterback. I mean, what would you call Brad Johnson or Trent Dilfer or any of these quarterbacks who are hot garbage and won in their system? I mean, even look at Joe Flacco. I mean, let's be honest about this. What is wrong with that? But again, this is about you guys' emotion to hearing this. This is about what you guys are feeling as this is being displayed. So let's go.
The average person could operate an Iron Man suit with a few days of training. That doesn't make them a superhero. That just means they're an average person operating great technology. And that was Jared Goff in Los Angeles. And when the rubber met the road in the Super Bowl against New England, he couldn't make plays on his own. If it wasn't served up on a silver platter, he wasn't eating the meal. So not only do they not have the quarterback, and probably not the coach in a coach quarterback league, but they are paying their quarterback, Jared Goff, a boatload of cash. They probably can't get out of that deal for at least the next 2 years, and it's a lot of money on Goff's deal. Wait. If Goff's so bad, then they will end up tanking and taking a quarterback in the top 5 of next year's draft. That will fix the issue, right? No, it won't. First of all, location can ruin talent. And as my friend Spencer pointed out, since 2010, 15 quarterbacks have been selected in the top 5 of the NFL draft. I feel good about 4 of them. Why? Well, if you're around garbage for 10 hours a day, you're going to smell like garbage. Bad teammates, bad organization can wear off on talented players. and even one of the 4 top 5 picks I do like, Joe Burrow, he tore his ACL and MCL just 10 games into his rookie year because his offensive line was so bad. A bad team can ruin great talent. The Lions are a bad team, perfectly capable of ruining good young talent. So that's just one reason why drafting a quarterback won't solve the Lions' problems. But the other is, they already had a great quarterback. Matthew Stafford is one of the most talented throwers of the football the game has seen. Matt Stafford is exactly what you hope for when you draft a quarterback in the top 5. Yet, they were still terrible. Don't believe me that the Lions have a bad team perfectly capable of ruining their potential next young quarterback? Let's look at this roster. Well, I like the offensive line. Oh, wait. That's all I like.
Okay. Again, people, I know some of y'all is like, I can't believe I'm subjecting y'all to this. Totally is not my intention. It is for you to hear the outside view of a particular YouTuber that somehow shares the same view that most YouTubers, most mainstream media, and most of the what's the word I want to use, of the Lions fan base. They share this same view. How are you feeling now as he goes through and do what I call a beautiful read? How are you feeling? Are you upset? Are you frustrated? Do you feel like what a joke? Do you think he's a clown? Do you think that this is ridiculous? Do you agree? Do you disagree with him? The reason I'm doing this is because this is part of the reality as a Lion fan, as a Lion fan base. To the toxic fans out there who listen, this is what you sound like. This is what you basically present yourself as when you're being negative. It's not objective. It's not put into perspective. It's just your emotions and how you feel. And chances is it's tied to some form of fantasy football or Madden, or it's tied to something that you just find it easy to crack jokes on because, you know, creating new material is too much. But how are you feeling? Is there something that makes you go, oh, wow, really? Because, see, the one thing I try to explain to people is this. If you make a statement, let's see how that ages. All right. If it aged well, then you were pretty much spot on. A lot of things that I say, I sit back because I know it's going to age well. I don't have to report what's going on. I just simply have to tell you what's going on based on perspective objectively. But if this guy can do this and get people to look at it, and some people think he's doing it for just clicks. No, he really believes that the Lions are not a good team or organization. And he really believes this because I had enough conversations with him to know that he's not making this up. He's not, this is not somebody trying to just get clicks. This is not somebody that's just trying to get down. This is what most toxic Lion fans sound like. And this is why I'm playing it, because this is the exact reason why I want you to understand that when you're talking in sport, and you're talking about a team, take your emotions out of it. Take your whole entire feeling out of it. Simply ask yourself, what is objective about it? And if you don't know the difference between being objective and subjective, then ask yourself, are you being emotional? And then go and Google the difference between being objective and subjective and try to put it in perspective. But he wasn't done. We almost there because we got to talk about it.
Pro Football Focus ranked every position group in the NFL. The Lions only have one unit that isn't ranked in the 20s or lower. This team will be battling the Texans for the number 1 pick this year. Now, that's a battle the Lions are perfectly capable of winning. But like I said, even if they do get the number 1 pick and their selection of Spencer Rattler, Malik Willis, or Sam Howell, one of those quarterbacks potentially, I'm still out on this team's future. Because when a plethora of quarterbacks, coaches, and general managers all fail with the same organization, at some point, you have to look at the top. Different members of the Ford family have owned the team since 1961. And in that time, since 1961, They have won one playoff game. One in 60 years. In 1961, Neil Armstrong hadn't been to the moon yet. In 1961, the average cost of a new car was less than $3,000. In 1961, John F. Kennedy was inaugurated. Since then, one playoff win for Detroit. At some point, that's a reflection of the people running the organization. So even though the NFL is a league of parity, teams routinely go from worst to first in their divisions. The Lions have been so bad for so long that something is wrong with this organization. And the rest of the roster isn't helping that either. Jared Goff is going to be the quarterback for 1 year. And then I think they're going to draft a new guy. But I don't like his chances to succeed in Detroit. I see no light at the end of the tunnel for Detroit. They will be a complete dumpster fire for the next 5+ years.
I mean, and that's it right there in a nutshell, people. This right here, why did I have to do this? I got tired of the messages. I got tired of seeing the negative responses. I got tired of seeing people who can't find hope, who can't see light at the end of the tunnel. And then what really spurred this on for me to do it was when I started to see people putting spins on articles pertaining to DeAndre Swift. And I'm saying to myself, wow, they're putting a spin onto this. And apparently people acting like, the fact that DeAndre Swift was rated 22nd and Maurice Jones-Drew running back rankings is an indictment. And I'm thinking, how? What do you mean? Like, there's 32 damn teams, and each team has well over 2 running backs. The fact that he's 22 is pretty damn good. And I don't know why people are shocked by this perspective, because most times it's the negative fan base that feeds the fuel that basically keeps this mainstream media narrative going. It's the reason why you have so many people who are sitting up there who can make these kind of videos, because guess what? More people are going to agree with them than Lions fans. And it's the truth. It's the truth. When I say that more people are going to agree with him than the Lions fan base, is because it's easier to dump on the Lions, especially when you, the fans, do it. Now, this is not always about you, the fans. Let me be clear about this. This is about the perspective that we, as a football fan, not a Lions fan, not a Bucks fan, not a Seahawks fan, not a Patriots fan, not a Piston fan. It's the perspective that you, as a fan, are displaying that allows for people to create such content like this, because you have yet to realize how to put it in perspective. You join in on the running joke of your favorite team as if though that's cool. Could you imagine you having kids and people had a running joke about your kid and you joined in on it? That's supposed to be something you love and care about. Why join in on it? The reality is this content that is being spewed, not just from him, but from a lot of other YouTubers, from a lot of other mainstream media, are things that you support. And when you have people like Maurice Jones-Drew, who offers an assessment of your running back, and people can't even look at it objectively to say, dang, he's 22 out of how many qualified running backs? Shameful. I mean, just do the math. How many running backs is on the Browns? 2, right? How many running backs are on Jesus, what do they call it? Kansas City. They're going to run 2 running backs. The Jets are going to run 2 running backs. All these running backs, he's 22, and you got people like, oh, he getting blamed for the woes of the run game. No. Perspective is everything. And when you sit here and you listen to this kind of stuff, you have to ask yourself, what am I doing that's contributing to it? That's 1. 2, am I out there allowing for this information to be had? Because I guarantee you that if this was not the case, people would get it. People would get it. You don't see this kind of talk for other teams. Oh, they're winning. He's allowed to talk like this because we as a fan base are just as toxic. This is what you sound like. This is why I had to do it, why it leads up into this whole point. I read an article from Maurice Jones-Drew where he said that, he basically said that and this is what I got from it. This is me basically paraphrasing, but he basically said that, look, I didn't see a lot out of Swift to do things, but I saw enough to know that there's something there. And he even says basically like, hey, I know he shared snaps with Adrian Peterson, but hey, based on what I seen, I know what I seen. The problem is that's not his fault. You have coaches who make decisions that make dumb decisions, and that's why they're fired now. Okay. But the reality is this: when he makes this assessment, if this upsets you, if this makes you uncomfortable, if this is something that you said to yourself you're not a fan of, then ask yourself, why do you let other fans do it? Why do you allow for other fans to come and make it a running joke and be a part of the joke? Why are you ashamed of something that you claim you love? Why be a fan of a team that you think is a dumpster fire that's not going to be good for the next 5 years and you see no light at the end of the tunnel? Why sit there and say get rid of this quarterback and that quarterback for any quarterback, and then they do it, and then you turn around and say, oh, said quarterback is just this garbage? I'm just trying to make sense of all of this. That's what I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to make sense of all of this. The reality of it is never going to change if you're not willing to be a part of the conversation that changes that reality. That's where we differ at. That's where this needs to be talked about, because we can't even have a general conversation about football without this kind of talk. And it doesn't make sense. Let's talk about another thing. It's a reason why I don't care about rankings, and it's a large part why you should stop caring about rankings as well. Because 9 times out of 10, it doesn't matter who's ranked number 1 or number 2. Hold on 1 second. All right, sorry about that. All right, so this is why you should not care about rankings. I happen to just do some research myself, and I went back and I decided to look at who's rated number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5 at each prospective position, and I wanted to see what those teams did based on those ratings. And what I found is often the number 1 guy team ain't usually doing crap, right? So I just said to myself, okay, well, we know this ain't working. In fact, some of the top running backs teams ain't winning. And by winning, meaning the championship. Okay? Titans, they got Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry's number 1 running back. And they're doing what? They've been to what Super Bowl? How many Super Bowls they been to? None of that even matters. The rankings are, as it say here, subjective. I don't care about rankings. When they sit there and they say, oh, Dan Campbell's the 31st worst head coach in the league, my real issue is not that he's rated 31st, but more so, what gives you the cause to call him the worst coach when he haven't coached a game? This is the real question. Why does he have to be at the bottom of coaches when he haven't coached a game? If anything, he should be given the benefit of the doubt to be in the middle. We know what other coaches have done. Why is he the bottom? Why is the Jets not the bottom? What do the Jets have that makes them have a better team and more chance for success? So I've learned to ignore rankings. Rankings no longer matter to me. Okay? They don't draw my attention no more, because I'm starting to realize that most of these rankings that they're doing is no different than fantasy football. They're trying to create buzz for conversational pieces. Where you got the buzz going? This is what we have to look at. We have to understand what we are looking at as a whole. When you look at these rankings constantly, inside and out, these rankings generally tailor towards fantasy football people. They just do. That's the first problem. It's one of the reasons why I hate fantasy sports. I hate them. It's ruining sports. I remember baseball games used to be like 2-1, and that was a high-scoring game. They dropping 11, 14, and 18 points in baseball games. Like, this is not how it works. This is not how it should be. We have to be able to just see it for what it is. That's all it is. You have to be able to see it for what it is. You should not get into the rankings of it. This is about how we are viewed. Now, let me switch it up a little bit more. Because you know, why not? I saw this video on Twitter, right? And the video was titled Bears, Lions, Packers, Vikings. Which part of their 2021 season is make or break? Now, I'm going to tell you right now. I didn't even get to the other damn team. I know what they said about the Bears, but I got to the Lions immediately. And I have to tell you that you should hear this, and I'm going to put it into perspective. Let's hear what she has to say about the make or break stretch of the Lions.
Detroit Lions are one of two teams, along with the Los Angeles Chargers, who have their toughest four-game stretch in weeks 1 through 4 this season, immediately challenging new head coach Dan Campbell and quarterback Jared Goff.
Here we go, boys. Here we go.
The Lions start with a home game against the likely healthy San Francisco 49ers team, who was ravaged by injuries in 2020, before traveling to Lambeau Field for a game against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Detroit then hosts Lamar Jackson and the Ravens on a fast track indoors, something that benefits the Ravens' offensive speed. The Lions' tough start continues with 2 more road division games, in Week 4 in Chicago and Week 5 in Minnesota, meaning the Lions play all 3 of their divisional road games in the first 5 weeks of the season. The Green Bay Packers are hoping to have reigning MVP.
Now, stay with me. I saw this article that coincided with this video. All right. And what I realized is something that I think is a beautiful problem to have. Stay with me. Let's say, hypothetically, I am 100% dialed up and dialed in to the toughest stretch of the Detroit Lions schedule being weeks 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's say I'm really buying into that, right? Like I'm just 100% all in on it. This is a good ass problem, okay? Because if you're telling me that this is our toughest stretch, then the Lions are in great shape, and I'll explain to you why. The best way to show you this is to do it visually, and then the only way I can do that is to share this screen. Let's put this back up here. Let's take this down, and then let's have ourselves a good old-fashioned conversation. Let's start at this stretch. Now, apparently, according to them, their strongest stretch is basically the weeks 1 through 4 and a partial week 5. Partial. Now, I think we win week 1. Just me. I feel good about it. 100% feel good about it. I think we win week 2. I think week 3 going to be a problem because we coming off that Monday night football game to end up playing at 1 o'clock against the Ravens, and I think that could be a problem. I think we win week 4, and I think we lose week 5. If the Lions go 3-2 before they got to play the Bengals, they are in perfect shape, especially if this is the toughest stretch. Then I thought to myself, okay, Luke, is it possible that there's another 4 games? Well, let's look at the second quarter of the games. Vikings, Bengals, Rams, Eagles. Let's say they go 2-2 here, right? Let's say they go 2-2 here, and on top of going 2-2 here, let's say, matter of fact, let me go back. Let's say they go 1-2, they go 3-1 in the first quarter, 2-2 in the second. They get a bye week. The next 4 games is the Steelers on the road, the Browns on the road, and then they get the Bears and the Vikings. This is the other part of it why I think this is a great problem to have. Because if you look at this part right here, Green Bay, Bears, and Vikings all on the road in the first half of the season, which means our cards line up for it to be in our destiny at the end of the year. But let's just say hypothetically, though, this is the toughest stretch, and I'm comparing them to all the places. If the first set of games a tougher stretch than the Steelers, Browns, Bears, and Vikings. Maybe that's a tougher stretch over going against the Broncos, Cardinals, Falcons, Seahawks, and Packers. Maybe that's a tougher stretch. If that is the case, the Lions simply need to go 3-1 in the first quarter of the NFL season. They do that, and I promise you, okay, that there is no way that this is going to go down. What is going on in the chat? I don't even know what's going on in the chat. All right. So here's the thing. The thing that y'all have to see, I'm out. My BP is up. What? What's going on? What am I missing? Yeah, thanks for putting us for listening to that clown. Sometimes you got to hear the clown. Sometimes you got to hear it. You just got to hear it. But keep it 100. If what they're saying is right, and I'm not saying that I'm not saying that I agree, but if you agree that that's the toughest stretch of our season, what do the Lions have to go for you to feel like they are in good shape? Give me the record. The first 4 games, they're going to go up against the 49ers at home, on the road against the Packers, at home against the Ravens, which apparently, according to this beautiful lady, their speed gets faster on turf. All right, this is what they saying, and so I get it. But what do the Lions got to go in the first quarter of the season for you to say, "Oh, we in good position"? JGB says 2-2. Okay, I could take 2-2. I want to make sure we clear because this is what they're trying to push to us. All right. But if you're telling me that this is the toughest stretch of this entire thing, delusional Lion fans says 4-0, they go 4-0, they still not gonna buy it. I remember when the Lions went 5-0 and then they lost to the 49ers under the Jim Schwartz era, and even at 5-0, Lions fans wasn't buying it. BD Buster says 3-1, preferably 2 wins within the division. Yeah, I can see the 2 wins in the division. I think 2-2. I can see 2-2 as it. If they go 500 in the first half, they are in good shape. They just are. If they go 500, they are 100% in good shape. Terry Starr says 3-1. I respect that. Craig says 3-1 or 3-1 to 2-2. Okay, they can go 4-0 or 3-1. That's from Jimbo G. Bulgaria says 3-1. I want to know if this is what they're saying is our toughest stretch. Why would you not have hope? Like, why would you not have hope? Go Lions got 2-2. You're talking about a team who got 2 home games, 2 road games. If they literally go out, let's say they go out, they beat the 49ers. Let's say they lose to the Packers. Let's say they lose to the Ravens, right? And they beat the Bears. And then come back and beat the Vikings. They got 2 wins in the division with 1 loss. So they'd be 2-1 in the division with a host of games at home down the stretch. Now, Luke don't got us. No, Luke got us. I got us beating the 49ers. I got us beating the Packers. And I got us beating the Bears. I got us 3-1 in the first four games. That's just what I got us. That's how I see it. But no, I'm not there. I'm just trying to figure out from you, the fan base. According to the NFL and their writers and their experts and all this. Oh, here's the other part that I left out. Can't leave this part out because this is vital information to have. They say that the Lions, week 1 at home against the 49ers, have a 39.3% chance of winning. Week 2 on the road against the Packers have a 41.1% chance of winning. We got a better chance of winning on the road against the Packers than we do of winning at home against the 49ers. And the 49ers lost a defensive coordinator, pass game coordinator, got a host of people suspended, have lost their starting left tackle for the season, Joey Bosa might be out for at least the first 4 weeks. But you know what? What the hell? Week 3 against the Ravens, we got a 40.8% chance of winning. And then week 4 on the road against the Bears, 42.4% chance of winning. They essentially said that we are a better road team than we will be at home. What? Come on, man. So, we're really gonna do this. Come on. Like, if this is what they're saying, and they feel good about it, and it sounds like they do, if this is how they feel, I gotta be honest with you. We in good shape. We just in good shape. There's no reason for us to be alarmed or concerned about anything. Okay. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me that that's our toughest stretch. And people act as though the Lions is going to have the worst record and the first overall pick. How? It says we're beating the Bengals. I agree with you. I think the last 4 games are possibly the hardest stretch teams would be playing for playoff. By the way, that's my point. JGB. That's the point I was just getting ready to lead into. If this is what people believe is the biggest stretch, and they go 2-2 or 3-1, then you should have hope. Because to me, that last stretch, this one right here, that game on the road against Seattle, that ain't gonna be fun. That game on the road against the Falcons, you might be able to go, okay, cool. But at home against Arizona, if Arizona get a chance to get in this dance, knowing that you got to still play the Seattle Seahawks, they're not finna ball out. In Green Bay at home, we played in the final game of the year at home on January 9th. That benefits us well, but if we beat them earlier, they come out on fire. And I suspect that we will beat them earlier. I just think this is where you're going to get the most conflict. Plus, I'm doing this with the idea that Aaron Rodgers plays. I don't care, or I'm not afraid, I should say, of Aaron Rodgers playing in week 2. I just think that once they get this win right here, if they ain't bought in at this point, because I remember that same year that the Lions under Jim Schwartz started 5-0 and everybody had us pegged to be hot garbage. You know that game where they went to get the 49ers and Jim Schwartz is getting ready to choke out Jim Harbaugh. Remember that? Just that game. I'm telling you right now that this is one of those seasons where things are going to happen that you least expected. And if they're telling us that the worst stretch of the season is in the first 4 weeks, then you should feel really good about this team going forward. Nothing about this team stands out to be afraid. Now, Armatt got them going 1-4. Southwest Lions have them going, 2-2, both NFC wins. Okay. I'm gonna add one on to the NFC wins and give them the game against the 49ers. It says, please just win the first one. It's been a rough 3 years. That's another good point. I don't see us losing. Hold on 1 second. My son back there living his best life in this toy box, and he's been in there the entirety of the show. And I'm trying to figure out how you ain't found the toy in this toy box yet. This is what they do. All right. So BD Butter says, please just win the first one. It's been a rough 3 years. And again, I don't expect for us to have a lot of woes that we saw because our head coach is at least open to getting help and to respecting the opinions of others. So we'll see how that work out. Jimbo G says, salute to you for having us going 3-1. We lose to the Ravens. I think we can win all 4 of those games, but that's a short week to come off of. You're coming off, basically think about it. You're going to play Monday Night Football on September 20th and then turn around 6 days later and play the Ravens at home. Huh? Like that's a real quick, swift turnaround in a short period of time. So and you know he's going to let them rest up and do like film and just go over the little stuff on Tuesday. So they're not going to practice until Wednesday. I think that's a short turnaround and it can be a bit of a problem. Goff isn't elite, but he certainly is not bad either. He's scared of getting sacked, panics, and pressure, only focused on the read that McVay told him to throw and unnecessary ducks. I just think that with Jared Goff, he's going to be unleashed. And so I heard Mike Lombardi, the former general manager, say on this one YouTube video where everybody looks good when no football is being played. And I said, okay, that's fair. The problem is I just don't buy and subscribe to a lot of stupid stuff. Brian Farrell says 2-2 at worst. That's what I can respect. I can respect that. Now, again, this is about you telling me where we can have success. And if that's the worst stretch that we're going to have to deal with, then we're winning. We're doing good. We're in a good place. But that's why my question is being posed to you guys and gals, because I'm trying to find out what exactly is it that needs to happen in the first 4 games for you to say, oh, we good for this season. We'll be all right. Because that's what it's going to come down to. That's where it's going to come down to. Craig says, Luke, I watched the whole 91 season. This feels like this could be that again. That's the feeling I get, but I gotta break it up into pieces and show people. And when I do that, you'll understand why. Now, keep in mind, tomorrow we're gonna have some fun because I do have a guest coming on tomorrow. And then hopefully I can get my video finished up, edited, and dropped because it was a really good conversation. I think you guys can and gals can enjoy. Let me see. Seattle don't have no pass rush, but by that time it don't matter. You're talking about being on the road in Seattle, so that's the difference. But let me see. It says I see them beating the 49ers and the Bears. Okay, all right. Goff will be better than what people expect. Let's see. Hey, did T-Pain kidnap Luke? It must have been breaking up or something. Because I don't know. I don't know why. I'm directly connected to the internet. Unless they're doing some kind of maintenance and I don't know. Let's see. All right. Again, I'm going to do a shorter show because I have to go get these kids. They're not letting me just live for a moment. Let me see. All right. Now, I'm going to hit one more topic. And then from there, the next thing I want to talk about is this. All right. Because this was brought up too. I thought this was very intriguing. And it was pointed out by Michael Lombardi. And what he basically said is the Lions defense still lacks speed. And so I was trying to figure out what does he mean by that. So my question to you before I go into depth on putting this into perspective is do you agree that the Lions defense still lacks speed? This is the question that we need to explore, because this is what we're going to be trying to figure out if it's true. Now, I've already did my homework, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is because as a person who does his homework, I can assure you that there's something about this message that ain't sitting too well with me. But that ain't for me to do. That's for me to try to put it in perspective for you. Do you agree that the Lions defense still lacks speed? One Pride 40 says yes. Let me see. Let me see what this say. How you break it down? I think we can sweep the pack, split the Bears, split. Okay, all right. Okuda need bailout. You think Okuda need? Boy, y'all are cold. If we run the ball consistently and get some good yards, Goff will be good because he play action quarterback. Wins. Oops. See. Again, I'm just talking about speed. Do you believe that this defense got an issue with speed? It says I don't like Tavai or Will Harris. So here's the thing I figured out. I went through and I just decided based on who I had pegged to be the projected starters. And I said, I'm going to go and look at their combine numbers and just look at their 40 times. Now, I don't really care about 40s. And you know that 40s don't always indicate what it is. But I want to see and use something that is a fair range to mark this up. And I went through and I said, our team speed, if you just look at our team speed and do it based on average, we are on par, at least with the middle of the pack of most defenses. We ain't no faster or slower for real than more than half the teams in the league. And so I'm like, I don't think that the issue is of speed. I think what you saw over the last 3 years wasn't a lack of speed, but what you saw over the last 3 years was a lack of confusion. How in the hell can I move fast when I'm not sure which way to go? I'll give you an example. Have y'all ever been in your car driving and don't remember making out a single turn? You don't even remember putting your seatbelt on, but somehow you got home safe? See, this thing called muscle memory in our brain works real well. When you don't have to think, you still know what to do. You know exactly where to go and how to get there because your brain is on autopilot. But when you're in a constant state of, oh, am I supposed to be here? I think I'm supposed to be here. Oh, if I don't be here, he's going to probably bench me or cut me. Oh, Jesus, I got to get this together. You're going to move slower. There's nothing worse than seeing a person when you're driving and they're trying to find an address, whether they're delivering food or they're like Lyft or Uber. Y'all seen those people trying to find addresses and you're trying to get home because you know where you're going, but they're going slow as hell. You know what I'm talking about? That thing. Why are we subscribing to this idea of speed? Speed is not the problem. You know who has had a notorious defense? The notorious defense over the last few years of giving up the most points and not having a lot of speed on it, but they've had success. The Baltimore Ravens and the New England Patriots. Our team, on average, is faster than the New England Patriots defense and the Baltimore Ravens. Put that in your pipe and smoke it for a moment. Think about it. Where is it all going wrong? Why is it that this is coming into question now? I'm just sitting there looking at this, and I'm telling you, I went through and I said, what's the easiest way to figure this out where I can be even on the board? Everybody got to run a 40. And I took that and I said, okay, let me just put them in. And I put them in piece by piece. I even did it by groups. And I said, well, I'll be damned. We average-wise, we ain't too far off from the rest of the other teams. Hell, I even decided to go and look at us in comparison to Kansas City. You know what I found? Kansas City had 2 players who had extremely fast 40s on their defense. Everybody else was in par on average with every other team in the NFL. So we don't have a problem there. This idea that we don't have speed is a joke. It's a joke. It has to be. I'm clearly being pumped. Yet, this is what they brought up. He says that the defense didn't get no faster, and that's going to hurt us down the stretch. And he talked about Jelani Tavai. He said Jelani Tavai was a hot trash bust. He didn't bring up the fact that Jelani Tavai was asked to put on a bunch of weight. He didn't do that. He didn't put that part into perspective. But he definitely brought the point, and it made me wonder, realistically, is this a speed issue or was it something else? Right now, based on evidence, and somebody can feel free to fact check me if you don't buy into it, go and look at every player projected to start. In case you were wondering who I put as projected starters, I had Brockers, I had McNeil, Onwuzurike is my 3 down linemen. I had the linebackers as, just for the record, I did adjust it too for other people in the lineup. So don't try it. Just give you food for thought. The linebackers, I had Trey Flowers as the outside with Romeo Core as the other outside. And the inside, I had Derek Burns and Collins. At the cornerback spot, I had Okuda, Amani Oruwariye, and at the safeties, I had Tracy Walker and Dean Marlowe. I want to give Will Harris a fair shot, but something tells me he's gonna be used similar to like a Miles Jack linebacker, safety, or like Deion Buchanan. But I could be wrong. I'm just telling you what I did. I put those guys there. I even interchanged it with Will Harris in the lineup and with Anzalone in the lineup. And damn it, I still wasn't far off on my numbers. Go and fact check it. Just simply Google all of their 40s. Now, this is going to take some work on your part because you're going to then have to turn around and do it for every other team. But we was not off. We was not off. Speed was not the problem with this defense. Then he said something about talent. Oh, they didn't have enough talent. So I was like, oh, okay, talent. And so I instantly said to myself, this is trash because talent in and of itself and alone does not win games. It just doesn't. I've seen a lot of talented teams not win, like the Cowboys, like the 49ers. Hell, I've seen teams like the football team not win with talent. The Bills have tons of talent and not really win. The Browns have talent and not really win. Talent in and of itself does not win games. What I did was I kept going down trying to figure out all of the possible reasons why this would be a thing, that the Lions don't have enough speed on defense, that this would be an issue, that the Lions don't have enough talent on defense. And what I found is they are right on par with everybody else. In fact, the NFL as a whole right now, you don't really have too many super teams. And if you dare want to try to clarify one, you want to say it's the Buccaneers? No, the Buccaneers basically added an Ndamukong Suh, free agent. They added a Jason Pierre-Paul, and everybody else through scheme got better, right? Like literally got better. And I'm sitting here looking at all of this information, and I'm telling you that this team ain't too far off. So there's something else wrong. We're missing something. Because speed ain't it. The moment they don't have to guess, the moment that it's just 100% muscle memory autopilot, you're going to succeed. You can't help but succeed. But the more you sit back, the more you try to dissect it and say, oh, this guard's not fast and that guard's not fast. Ask yourself, what about other teams? Go and look at the other teams. We're just doing it based on averages. And you're going to find quickly and swiftly that most of this stuff is not what you thought it was. He said, we have talent and not won. Yeah, we've had that before too, where you had talent and not won. Talent in and of itself does not win games. It just doesn't. Let's see. It said, no, that's bear poop. Bucks a super team. They not. I wish I could lie to you, but they not. The Bucks is not a super team. The difference between okay. He says so that's horseshit. Okay. Let me just join you on this road, okay? Because I know you thinking like, man, how in the heck they're a super team, but they not. And I'll explain to you why. Super teams generally go and stockpile a whole lot of talent, right? Which is the case. But if you look at this team, they drafted Ronald Jones, right? Like they literally drafted. Most of the people on this team they drafted. They drafted Mike Evans. They drafted Chris Godwin, Tyler Johnson. They drafted these guys. You go through, you look at the tight end room. The only reason they added Rob Gronkowski is because O.J. Howard was hurt and they was thinking about moving on from him, but they drafted O.J. Howard. Cameron Brate, another guy they brought up and groomed up to be where he is. Devin Smith, drafted. Ali Marpet, the left guard, drafted. Tristan Wirth, drafted. This team is mostly drafted. Vita Vea, drafted. William Ghostin, Detroit kid, shout out to him, drafted. Like, you can't make this stuff up. Now, there's a bunch of people on this roster who ain't gonna make the roster, but most of these people they drafted. They obviously didn't draft Jason Pierre-Paul, but he got cut. I want to say he got cut or traded. I can't remember. But Devin White drafted. Levante David drafted. Shaquille Barrett, they groomed him up. Carlton Davis drafted. Antoine Winfield Jr. drafted. Sean Murphy Buttons drafted. Another Michigan guy, played at Central Michigan. They drafted most of their team, and then they sprinkled in a few pieces here and there. That's all they did. Ain't nothing about this team super other than the fact that they took what they drafted and said, I'm going to do more. The same way they went out and added a Kyle Trask to take over, to kind of learn something while they was there. That's not me making it up. I'm telling you, they drafted. He said, I smell some bullshit. Shout out to you, Jon Kapler. What up, though? Oh my God. Mr. Proper says O-line and D-line wins game, and they drafted those guys. That's why they're not a super team. A super team is where you get a bunch of people to come together like they tried to do with the Rams. They went out and got every big name free agent and still didn't do nothing with it. This team drafted most of their people. You know, Lions aren't in the bad Hollywood script. Let's see. This from Looney Tune Luke. I think the term super team is one residual result of the fans who think that only win on talent. You just can't. They said they got Sue and Paul, 2 dogs. Yes, after the fact. Tom Brady, after the fact. Tom Brady went there because they had already had the cap spaces, 1, and 2, they had already had the receivers drafted that he can throw to. They drafted their talent. They followed the same formula that most championship teams have followed. Draft your team and sprinkle in a few free agents here and there. The Lions were in the same position when they had Fairley, when they had Sue, and all the most, and you just had to sprinkle pieces. They didn't do the sprinkle part. They got there and they didn't do it. Luke be selling that book. Why has this got to be bull? I'm being honest. Mr. Marcus said, Luke, you full of shit. Dude, where am I wrong at? They drafted their team and then sprinkled in a few pieces. I mean, hell, even with Jameis Winston, he still threw 30 touchdowns to 30 interceptions. But the thing was he was going to take care of the ball. They started getting other players after the fact who were has-beens or on their way out of the league. I'll give you a perfect example. Leonard Fournette was said to have been completely worthless and on his way out the league. And then they turned around and literally just was like, okay, we'll give him a shot. And he got a chance to do it. The same thing with Giovanni Bernard. He got released from the Bengals. They was like, oh, he done. They said, not in our eyes. They brought him back. They drafted Keyshawn Vaughn. I'm just saying. Oh, man, they got Antonio Brown, who played sparingly because you had an injury. Man, if y'all don't stop. This is y'all time for questions, man. Y'all done already. Jimbo G says, I agree with Marcus. Luke is full of shit. Listen, I'm telling you, bro, it just boils down to what it is. So they got they got one of the best quarterbacks in history and a tight end. Come on, dog. He sucked last year. I'm not even being funny. Tom Brady did not do what y'all think. Tom Brady struggled last year. He admitted it that he struggled and stuff. And what they did to remedy that was implement the run game more to open things up. You can do that when you drafted the offensive line. You can do that when you drafted most of your defense. I mean, they drafted people. And then once that happened, people was like, oh, this became the New England for this year, where it's like, hey, I was tossed to the curb. Nobody likes me and nobody wants me here. But if you look at their cornerbacks and all this stuff, man, no cornerbacks ain't no different than Amani Oruwariye and Jeff Okudah, realistically. But you, but I'm, man, Mr. Marcus is tripping. He said some really. I'm just telling the truth, bro. I'm just telling the truth. He said, hey, it says, Luke, if you bottle that BS, don't leave it in the trunk of a rental car. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Let me go get to y'all questions, man. Y'all finna get me in trouble. Man, what in the time for y'all questions? Any questions y'all have, shoot. He say, man, you not finna get me like that. Let's see. Y'all out here tripping. And let's see. Luke gonna be selling out of the store. You said I got snake oil. Hey, listen, when you draft most of your team, you sprinkle in a few pieces. It makes sense. It just do. Luke, let's not forget Tom Brady said he fully learned or got a grasp of the playbook by like week 12. Right. He was that first part of that season, man, that boy was struggling. Jesus, y'all out cold. Let's see what questions y'all got for me. It says, everyone want to hear a funny joke. A new top 32 video said the Pats have the second best O-line. This is exactly why we don't do rankings. I cannot. This is exactly why we can't do it. Let's see what's going on here. Mr. Marcus says, Luke ignored me last week on Bulls. I swear he is petty. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. Don't tell these lies. Let me see. Shout out to my people in Man Hour. They says, hey, Luke, we got something for you. Uh-oh. What you got for me, man? What you got for me? Let's see. It says Bucks from December to February was a different team compared to September and November. Thank you. Thank you. Somebody saw it. Thank you. It says I'm off of ketchup, barbecue sauce all the way. Facts right there, man. We don't talk about that. You talking about believe he had the Rams as a top 10 line. Let's see. Like Belichick says, the season doesn't start until Thanksgiving. It's a good point. I'm just trying to point it out to you. They had a lot of pieces because people was getting hurt and was out, and they was like, okay, because O.J. Howard, I think he was hurt, or maybe he sat out 20. I can't remember which one it was, but I know he went in. Tickets. Oh, you know how to reach me. you know how to reach me. Please do. They say they got something for me, and the key word was tickets. You know how to reach me. Please do. It says, Luke, Brady sucked when he threw 40 touchdowns on some. Man, hey, listen. You can see the 40 touchdowns, but I'm telling you, go through and look at the season and break it down into halves. You're going to see that these are two different teams where they're including in there, I believe, playoff wins and touchdowns on that too. But at that point, they had finally figured it out, and I'm telling you, there's a lot of pieces missing. It's just, now watch. I'm just putting it out there. Watch how this season go. They're going to start off a little bit fast, and then they're going to falter in the middle, pick up a little bit, slightly off of the middle, then back down. It's just the way football works. So, Man Hour, please reach out to me on Twitter or Instagram. You know how to reach me. I'm not hard to find. Let me see. What other questions we got? Luke. Okay, it says, let me go back. It says Stafford went to frying pans to the fire with the Rams O-line. Goff has a better O-line to be success. What you say? I think that's what happened. I think Stafford went to a worse O-line than what he would have had potentially with this O-line. But again, based on what Brad Holmes said, he said that had he capped Stafford, he would have did something different in the draft. I don't know what that difference would have been. My guess is he would have went wide receiver. That's just me. Could be wrong, but I think he would have went wide receiver in the first round. Maybe even traded up to try to get one. Who's to know? Let me see. Y'all, I'm called that. Luke, what is the Lions' record versus the NFC teams? Ooh, let me go and look at their schedule. Let me go and look at that schedule again. Let me see. I got one. So if they split, well, I think they split with the Packers and the Vikings. So that's 2. And I think they sweep the Bears, so that's 4. I think they beat the 49ers, so that's 5. They beat the Eagles, 6. Cardinals, 7. I think they get 7 wins in the NFC. That's what I think. I think they get 7 wins in the NFC. I think they got a chance of getting 8, but I know they're going to flip-flop some of these wins. So that would be my prediction for them right there. That's a damn good question, though. Tampa Bay started like 6-2, then fell to 7-5, then went out the season strong. I'm telling you. He said, don't matter. It's a super team. That's a bunch of I can't win. Hey, listen, I can't win. You got it, bro. He says, I ain't being about you ignoring me. Omar Pacheco called it. I asked you a question about losing 6 to 7 games a year, 2 to 8 points. Losing 6 to 7 games, 2 to 8 points. Did I miss the question? I'm sorry if I missed it, but I'm sorry if I missed it, Jimbo D. I probably missed it. I'm trying to think. So they had lost 6 to 8 games, 2 to 8 points. I mean, I look at stuff like that, and it tells me this. One, it tells me that they're not as far off as it is, but there are some things missing in the coaching room that should have made a difference for them, and it's not. But that's even more proof, in my opinion, that they are going to be better than what most people think. I'm just putting it out there. Alexander Kumar, where you been, brother? He says, Luke G, should the Detroit Lions trade for Jordan Hicks? It will help our linebacker room. No, absolutely not. Why would you, Jordan? What's the difference between Jordan Hicks and KJ Wright? Right? Like I'm just trying to figure this out. No, when you're talking about trading, you're talking about giving up assets. I don't see us doing anything like that of giving up assets. So I'm going to say no to that. Let me see. Luke is the GOAT of Lion Media. You heard it here first. Hey, salute to you, SpeakEZ. My man Easy from SpeakEZ Sports, a.k.a. Woodward Sports, is in the building and putting me some love up out there. I appreciate it, man. They said I'm full of crap because I won't give the Bucks a super team. They drafted over like 90% of their team. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. It says if we all had tickets, we still wouldn't be able to reach you because you asked what seats are they catch up included. Nah, bro. Nah, bro, don't do that. Let's see. It says that don't mean he's right half the time, just that he's the GOAT. I was right that we wasn't taking no quarterback and that we didn't need one. Let's see. Look, you feel it more than the ketchup bottle. What ketchup bottle? I have no clue what you speak of. What's going on, everybody? Let me see. Stafford is fixed to get messed up. He realized that he left too fast. Yeah, I mean, he could have called his shots here too. He could have literally called, but I think that was more so of him having a conversation with his wife and him looking at his career and basically being like, we got to go. His wife was ready to go. She didn't really like it here, and I don't blame her. Luke, where do you think our scoring offense and defense will rank this season? Again, I don't really care about ranks no more, but if I had to say scoring offense, we're going to be running the ball a lot. So I'm going to say somewhere between 15 and 20. Scoring defense, I think we're going to probably be last. I think we get turnovers, but scoring defense, your defense is scoring. You're talking Super Bowl. I don't think we're there yet. If Stafford said, let me see, I bought tickets to the Rams versus the Rams versus Lions. Oh, that's a good one. Isn't the Rams versus Lions on the road? Are you going there? Is that what you're saying? Let's see. Let me make sure I ain't missing that. Make sure I can't do it as long as I want to because I started late. Luke, what do you think the odds on the Rams cutting Christian Roseboom? And if they do, would you think the odds that the Lions pick him up? I think the odds of him getting cut are slim in a way. But if he did get cut, I don't know if they would do that. I mean, Roseboom, Christian. Maybe you did you spell his last name wrong? I feel like you spelled his last name wrong. Could be wrong. but I'm gonna double check it because I think you spelled his last name wrong. Let me see if this is the linebacker I think you're talking about. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, let me go through and look at it. I thought it was something else, but we finna find out. All right, where you at, buddy? Let's see. No, that is how you pronounce it. I thought he had an R or something on there, but I guess not. I guess it don't got an R on there. I mean, according to ESPN right now, they got him way at the bottom for linebackers. But I just don't see, like, there's some people on here that I just don't see, like, making the team. I don't know. This could be interesting. I just don't know if they wouldn't. If you're talking about picking them up in what role, I guess that's my question. What are you picking them up as? That's what I got. NFL set up the party. Lions have a good of a chance as anybody else. Let's see. Also be a big name free agent next week. Yes, year, and what names you see coming. All right, so Luke, will you go after big name free agents next year, and what names you see coming here? I would have to see who the free agents coming, but who are going to be free agents, but I think they are going to definitely get the big name people next year. 100%. At that point, they're going to go out. The word is going to be out, and I think they can do it. But without me knowing who's definitively going to be a free agent, it's hard for me to answer those future questions like that. View, I said I ain't Lions. Oh, okay. I asked you, do you think we win those same games? Nah, because Patricia is coaching is everything, and I don't see it. I just don't see it. So nope. What will our overall record be for the Lions? If I'm a batting man, and I have a tendency to be a batting man, I'm going to say between 8 to 10 wins, and the batting side of it tell me 9 and 8. So if I was batting on the over or under, I'll take the over. Do you think we would take Rodney Harrison safety from Cleveland if available? Yes. He fits that style of being just right there on the cusp, and he would come, I think, cheaper than most players. I can see them picking him up 100%. You know, now if they got to trade for him, that's not going to work. We're not doing that. But yeah, I can see them doing something in that light. Do you want this to happen? But if it does, and the Lions have a bad season, will any coaches be on the hot seat? No, they have been assured that their job is safe, so there's no reason for a hot seat to happen. Not gonna lie, nice to chill on a Sunday and listen to my guy Luke. 100%, man. Appreciate it. I be missing you. I wish you get in the room when certain people show up on Woodward Sports and be talking like, you know, I be needing some voice of reasons there, and it seems like it's like an hour or two of the same thought process. I feel like Sean be conceding to Terry for some reason. Also, one pride, I low-key hyped my uncle into doing it. He said, easy is money, bro. Oh, shit, my bad. Oh, man, I can't. Luke, a lot of people thought that they was doing the Lions in by leaving, but making the Lions worse, and it backfired. That's a good take right there, Jimbo. That's a good take. I don't think it was the Lions they were doing dirty. I think they were trying to get away from Patricia. That's how I view it. I got it, man. Man, you silly. Let me see. I'm gonna take a few more, then I'm gonna get out of here. Luke will do a shot of ketchup if we can get up to 40 likes. Wow. Oh my God, y'all in this ketchup. I don't know what you mean. Let's see. Roseboom has a backup inside linebacker. Dude's a jack of all, master of none, screams a John Dorsey pickup. If you pay attention to the way he did KC rebuild, retool, restructure of the team, if they're gonna cut him, it's a question. That's what I'm saying. I think he outperformed some people, but if they do, I don't know if they kick the wheels on that. I just don't. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I don't know. I don't know. It says you gotta call in next time Sean go in. I don't want them to get a bad view of me. Speak, okay? I'm trying to be PR with Sean, but I need answers. That's why I said if I can get him to come on, and if it's you and him, or if I come on to your channel with him, I got questions. I want to know because I feel like he be conceding to Terry. I'd be like, bro, Terry has been tainted by one Valenti. I'm just saying, just putting it out there. Damn it, I guess I gotta take a shot of ketchup. Y'all know I don't even like tomatoes. Me and tomatoes don't even get along. You feel me? Team mustard over here, some relish. Luke, are you in the studio? Because your auto-tune going off right now. No, I think what you're starting to see is this. I'm on a direct connect, and I just looked at my emails while I'm on here. They're doing maintenance. And that's what they're doing. So that's why I'm gonna make sure I get off here soon. So my apologies. SpeakEZ says Sean versus Luke would be fine. It wouldn't be a Sean versus Luke. It would be me like, let's talk ball. Like, explain to me how you keep coming to these conclusions based on what? Like, I'm just saying. Oh, that oyster thing was hilarious, man. Watch. I listen. Every time he ate one, my spirit broke with him. It broke with him. I was like, I could not do it. I could not. Oh God, I could not eat oysters. That is. If there's one thing that you want to torture me with, make me eat oysters. It's no way. It's no way. I ignore you, no Jimbo G. Come on. He said I ate that about 4 or 5 times. Hey, listen, I ignore you. So I just miss it a lot of times. I'm not gonna lie, my bad. Even though we are all on the same puck the frackers. Okay, I think Roger's gonna play for the ugly. I do too. I think Roger's still gonna play. I have no doubts. All right, people. That's it. Been on for an hour and a half. You know me. Got to end the show on a high note. Got to make sure I give you something good to think about, something to lift you up, to make you be in a better mood. So first of all, I want to thank everybody who showed up. And I know it was a later show than usual when I usually do it at 5. Got held up at work, but I really wanted to talk sports. And so I made sure I did just that 100%. Check out the new UDFA Alliance sign on. Oh, I'm already up on it. I got to watch film on people. I try to watch more film on before I start talking. So that's what that is. But today's positive quote, people, comes from the internet. I don't know who said this. I just stumbled upon it and I thought this was beautiful. The quote says, being broken is beautiful. It makes you more powerful. Let me repeat that back over. Being broken is beautiful. It makes you more powerful. See, I started to realize something. Most of us treat brokenness as if it's a curse or if it's some type of negative thing. We treat brokenness as if though being broken or having some type of flaw or not being in your perfect view makes you weak or vulnerable. But let's be honest about this. When you are broken, that means that you have already went through all the trials and tribulations, survived it, and you have simply found the answer to get to the other side unscathed. That makes you powerful. That's where the beauty comes in at. Because no matter how broken you were, no matter how broken you think you may be, that brokenness never stopped you from going forward. That brokenness never shuts you out and told you that you was not going to be a survivor. That brokenness had no effect on your survival rate, one in which you've already had 100% on. What's beautiful about the power of you fighting through that brokenness is the fact that you, without even knowing it, can't even appreciate the power that you hold. The times that people told you no, the times that people said you couldn't and you can't and you won't. Every single chance that you took where it seemed like it was scary, that brokenness never failed you. The power is activated every time you need it, and that's what's beautiful about it. That's what makes you powerful. So every time you think things are getting bad, every time you think things are not getting right, take a second, take a moment, sit in that brokenness, sit in the beauty of your power. And then remember that whatever storm came your way, you weathered it already. and you're much, much more prepared for the next one. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. I hope you all had a great 4th of July and holiday weekend. And as always, don't be no chump. Please do your research. I'll be back at it again tomorrow, talking a little bit of Detroit Lions football with those beautiful, beautiful gentlemen across the pond. Let's get it.